after all the Super Tuesday primaries. Former President Trump had been pushing for a change, pushing for his daughter-in-law Laura to be the RNC co-chair.
He's in charge of the party. He gets a big say in who reps the RNC. And at the moment, he remains the overwhelming favorite to be the Republican nominee for the third time in a row, beating Nikki Haley by about 20 points in South Carolina this weekend.
Fox's Peter Ducey. The next GOP presidential primaries tomorrow in Michigan. Nikki Haley refusing to drop out will rally in Grand Rapids this afternoon. As the war rages in Gaza, the Palestinian government's resigning and will reform. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu just told Fox.
First of all, I think that's musical chairs. They haven't had an election in the Palestinian Authority for 17 years, so they're just shuffling chairs. But the real thing we want to see is genuine de-radicalization.
He's making plans to evacuate Rafah, a city in Gaza where 1 million-plus Palestinians are sheltering before fighting Hamas militants there. A U.S. Air Force active duty member's in critical condition after protesting Israel's war, claiming
he would no longer be complicit in genocide, doused himself with a flammable liquid, and then set himself on fire in front of Israel's U.S. Embassy in Washington Sunday afternoon. Witnesses say he shouted, "Free Palestine," even after ignition.
Fox's Jack Callahan. Russia has Ukraine on the retreat, leaving another village in what's now a third year of the war near the city of Avdiivka that Russia already had taken control of earlier this month, as President Volodymyr Zelensky gives a grave war update.
He tells us 31,000 Ukrainian soldiers have died in the past 2 years, but won't give us the number wounded because he says that'll help Russian military planning. In August, US officials put Ukrainian soldiers killed at 70,000 and as many as 120,000 injured.
That's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox.
The Fed's new FedNow system is all about surveillance and control. Secure your assets today with something Washington cannot manipulate. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I recommend diversifying your retirement into a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. Do this right now. Text SHELTER to the number 989898 and get a free info kit from Birch Gold. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Once again, Congress is on deadline to pass some sort of budget to prevent a government shutdown. The first deadline is Friday. Then a bigger one is next Friday, the 8th. That one funds the Pentagon. President Biden will meet with congressional leaders pushing for a plan tomorrow as the Senate waits for the House to hand over the articles of impeachment for a Biden cabinet member so a trial can start.
Impeachment managers selected by House Republicans will make their case that Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas should be impeached. The articles allege Mayorkas did not follow the law and misled the public about the border being secure. With Democrats controlling the Senate, the chances of Mayorkas being convicted is slim.
We view it as a stunt.
Senator Tim Kaine is one of those opposed to convicting Mayorkas and believes leadership will, quote, spend as little time on it as possible. The House voted to impeach Mayorkas by one vote, with no Democrats voting in favor. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
They're still in mourning in Georgia, where a funeral has been set for Friday for Laken Riley, the nursing student who was killed last week while jogging in Athens, Georgia. Her accused killer, Jose Ibarra, is jailed without bond at the moment. ICE says that Ibarra was in the U.S. illegally. A pastor in Brooklyn goes on trial today.
47-year-old Lamar Miller Whitehead faces wire fraud, attempted extortion, and false statements charges. Prosecutors say he stole from a parishioner's savings and duped a businessman with false claims that they could leverage his connections to New York City officials, including Mayor Eric Adams. He's accused of fueling a lavish lifestyle. Miller Whitehead has pled not guilty and is free on $500,000 bail. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures have been down modestly. The Dow and the S&P 500 sit at record high levels after last week's gains. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news.
Illinois lawmakers considering a bill to drop Native American mascot names from K through 12 schools. Researchers say studies show the mascot names such as Warriors and Indians harm Native American children. State Rep Laura Favor Diaz says Native American mascots dehumanize an entire group of people, have no place in schools. Stock prices of the electric vehicle manufacturer Rivian tumbled. It followed its production forecast below analyst expectations. The company's stock price fell to its lowest price since Rivian began selling stock to the public 3 years ago. About 8,000 employees currently work at Rivian's plant in Normal. University of Illinois Systems President Tim Killeen is in line for a 3-year contract extension. University's Board of Trustees will consider the extension when it meets March 28. The extension would take effect July 1st. Killeen has been Illinois' president since 2015. Under Killeen, enrollment has hit record highs for the 10th consecutive year. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. Hey, good Monday morning, my friends. The last few days of February, nice and light. We're going to spring ahead a week from Saturday on the clock, so that means it'll be dark in the morning again, but light in the evening.
Yep.
What the heck? Meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Busey, member FDIC. Well,
good looking start to our week.
Oh, my gosh. Come on, man. Come on, Mr. Greg Solier. We got Illinois baseball planned for tomorrow at 3. Home game.
Here in town, I presume?
Yes, right here. So I expected 30 degrees, but no way, man. No way.
No, we might have to bust into, those folks might have to bust into rain delay theater mode and run the tarp out there. We'll see how the timing of thunderstorms work out, because that'll be the issue. And there may be some storms that perhaps require a weather watch or warning, or at least in a slight risk area tomorrow afternoon and evening time. And but apart from that and around that, hopefully 72 degrees. Boy, that'll make a headline in itself right there. That's record setting, if not record flirting territory. And if you can't get out and enjoy tomorrow, do it today. If you can't get out during the next couple of days, and you get another reprieve performance of ups and downs on temperatures, and no shortage of weather around for next week as well. Out the door this morning, 33 Willard and Savoy currently, 36 at Rantoul to 34 over at Danville. Let's see, over towards Villa Grove and Pasodum, 36 degrees currently, 37 at Clinton, 37 out west-northwest towards about Gibson City and Farmer City. Heading towards a high today of 68. The normal high this time of the year, 43. Breezy, increasing clouds later in the day. South wind will pick up 15 to 20 in gusty. Run at 12 to 24 in gusty tonight. 54 for a so-called low. Maybe a sprinkle this evening and a stray shower after midnight. Tomorrow, rather windy and seasonably warm, partly sunny. Maybe a weakening shower, thunderstorm late morning. They'll fire up mid to late afternoon. Again, maybe a weather watch close by or overhead with a high up to 72. Get this, tomorrow night we go from 72 to 29 for the low. Winds will swing to the northwest, gust to 40 miles per hour. Showers and thunder early. And then Wednesday morning, there ought to be a little wet snow in the air, partly sunny, windy, cold at 32, but then a recovery to 41 Thursday, 52 Friday, 60 Saturday, tickling 70 on Sunday. We'll do it again with thunderstorms and into the lower 70s for Monday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Thank you, Greg. Off and running. We have Brad Underwood, Illinois basketball coach, coming up at about 8:30 this morning.
Go Illini.
You'll want to listen to that because he doesn't do any interviews like our show. We just ask different types of questions, and I've got some different types of questions coming up. Political analyst, commentator for Young Voices, Victoria Churchill. No relation to Winston, of course. You've never heard that, Victoria, ever in your life.
No relation. Just happy to share that last name.
Yeah, quite the leader. All right, so primary elections are what political parties used to choose candidates to appear on the ballot for the general election, which is November 5th. Unaffiliated voters are Oklahoma's largest growing voter bloc, so they're more independents now than Republicans or Democrats. What's the read on that from you, Victoria?
Well, I think at a time when folks are increasingly frustrated with government institutions, particularly the federal government, I think that statistic is no surprise. And the other thing that we look at is that participation in primary elections is also very low. Groups like the Bipartisan Policy Center would love to see that number over 30%, closer to 35%, and it averages between 20 and 30%, and closer to that 20% number in most states, particularly because of kind of the closed primary aspect of governance. Only 15 states have open primaries, and those states do typically see a slightly higher bump in participation in their primaries, about 2% higher. So, those are averaging about 22% as opposed to 20%. But that's still very low. That's still over 3/4 of voters aren't participating in those primaries, which I think then leads to folks being much more frustrated with their government because they feel like they're not being heard. But what I always say is, if you don't vote, you can't complain, right? And so my hope is that anything that we can do to increase participation will help instill more faith in our democracy and in our government institutions.
Well, there's no question people are super frustrated with how things are going with politics, but yet it feels very difficult to change. I'm all for term limits, but I don't think they're going to vote themselves out.
I think it definitely depends on the state. I mean, even in states that are more kind of skewed to one party or the other, there's still very robust primary elections where those contests kind of do come to fruition. That's kind of one of the arguments of having more open primaries, is to make sure that politicians that, kind of aren't satisfying the will of the voters in their districts are able to be ousted. And for example, like that's the situation that we're seeing right now in my home state of Virginia. I live in Arlington, but further south in the state, we have the 5th District. Congressman Bob Good is being primaried by State Senator John McGuire. Good is the chairman of the House Freedom Caucus, but he endorsed DeSantis over Trump, and that's kind of led to some frustrations among members of his district, and McGuire is trying to capitalize on that. Another state that I lived in Kansas, we have what's called the Big First District. It takes up about 2/3 of the state geographically. And, we had Congressman Tim Huelskamp a few years ago, and he was ousted by Roger Marshall. And then when Marshall went to go run for the Senate, now we have another congressman in that district, Tracy Mann. And so people are kind of able to really make a stand in those primary elections. Even in very conservative states, very conservative districts, there is still an opportunity to get somebody in who may better represent the voting patterns of the district and really just the will of the people in general.
Victoria, will Nikki Haley make it past Super Tuesday, or a week from tomorrow might be it for her?
I think it might be it for her. I'm sure you saw the news, the Americans for Prosperity, the Koch-aligned group, decided to pull their funding from her, and I think they've been a very big economic engine that's been driving support to her campaign. They didn't necessarily pull an endorsement, but they're saying that they are not going to be putting resources in a lot of those early states as we've seen. But I do also want to note that Haley's campaign has touted that they've raised about $1 million since the loss on Saturday, even though that was about a 60-40 loss in her home state. And that's been one of the major criticisms of the Haley team, I think, coming from the Trump camp, has been that Haley's really been funded by mega donors versus Trump has said that he's got a lot more grassroots supporters. And so if that million came from the grassroots level, maybe folks for some reason are deciding to back her, even though they haven't in the past, at least not with their dollars. And, definitely when you look at like delegate allocation, Trump is definitely coming home with pretty much all of them, right? Like in South Carolina, out of 50 delegates, Haley only came home with 3.
She's going to have to endorse Donald Trump. Doesn't feel like she wants to or is going to, but I think for her future, and she's still very young, she's going to have to at some point endorse him, isn't she?
I would expect that, yes. That was one of the reasons that Trump himself didn't participate in the GOP primary debates, is that he didn't want to sign a loyalty pledge to support the nominee. But anybody that supported or that participated, in the GOP primary debates, in August and in September and in October, they had to sign a loyalty pledge to appear on stage. So if she's going to hold true to her word that she kind of had to commit to participate in those, yeah, she has to support the nominee.
Victoria Churchill, how can people find you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at @snits_churchy. That's SNITS _CHURCHY. Or on Facebook, just type in my full name, Victoria Snits Churchill. I've got a public page up there. I actually posted about this radio tour about an hour ago, so feel free to follow along. I'm sure I'll be sharing this interview and a few others that I've got coming up this morning on there as well.
Thank you very much, and nice meeting you, Victoria. Thanks for being on. Victoria Churchill, Young Voices, on the Tammans Towing phone line, ESPN 93.5. All right, we pull it out on Saturday, but it wasn't easy. Man.
Hey, fun sitting next to you too, Stevie.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Different way for me to experience the game, kind of right behind the Orange Crush. And boy, that was a lit crowd against Iowa, 95-85 as we ended up pulling away at the end. But boy, was it back and forth. And good to see another win.
Yep, 64-57 Iowa. We were pretty nervous. Brad Underwood after the game.
I like this team a lot, and I use the word team in all caps. Today was an unbelievable team victory. It was not easy. Iowa was playing great. They're just won at Michigan State. Fran, in my opinion, is as good an offensive coach as there is in the country, just developing guys, getting them to play at a high level. I actually felt, other than the last play of the half, the last sequence of the half, I actually felt pretty good at half because I thought we'd forced Dix and some of those guys into some pretty hard shots.
Well, they didn't miss. It was like, come on, man. You can't shoot 100%. It was the last shot they took before the under-16 first time out. They were 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, okay, well, whatever. That's no fun. Why are you doing? It's no fun. I wasn't having any fun. Anyway, we pull it out, 95-85, and every game's huge. And
so this is the 1,000th Big Ten win.
Oh.
And let's see, 5 consecutive 20-win seasons.
Been a lot of coaches, and Lou Henson and now Brad Underwood are the only two that could do 5 20-win years in a row. We've been around for 100 and some years, and only 2 coaches have done this.
So we'll talk to him about that. Brad Underwood due to be on the show just after 8:30. So listen in then or hear it back as you visit StevieJay.com later in the day. Next up, Minnesota Wednesday. That's an 8 o'clock start, Stevie. So just so you know.
Yeah, I know. And I don't want to alarm people, but this is a dead fan alert. It's a little symbol we have put on the radio, dead fan alert. It's 8 p.m. at night. It's Minnesota. They're way better than they were. Don't sleep on Minnesota. They'll beat us.
But Nebraska beat Minnesota 73-55.
Don't sleep on Minnesota.
Okay.
They're better.
Well, don't sleep on anybody.
Don't sleep on anybody, but I'm just saying 8 o'clock. We just beat Iowa. We got Wisconsin and Purdue coming up.
Okay,
we got a game against who? Who do we play Wednesday?
I see what you're saying.
Whatever. We better be jacked and ready to go. And Brad's going to tell them till he's blue in the face, but it's just a question whether they listen. But just be careful of Minnesota. They're just far better than the old Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
They got some players.
Michigan State hosting Ohio State and lost to the Buckeyes 60-57. Maryland beat Rutgers 63-46. And Purdue over Michigan 84-76. Pacers over Dallas. Bulls ended up winning over New Orleans. That's sports. I'm Diane.
And again, Ohio State at Michigan State on a last-second 3-ball. Unbelievable. I turned it off when Michigan State was up 10.
And the women lost to Iowa.
We'll touch on that a little more. Weather brought to you by Urbana Park District.
And they remind you, the pool passes, especially when it's 70 today and tomorrow. We're kind of getting in that pool frame of mind. So save right now. Get some punch cards, urbanaparks.org.
Log in every one. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Real roller coaster ride and action-packed spell of weather here for the next 10 days to 2 weeks, including increasing prospects for some severe weather tomorrow afternoon and evening time. A little snow in the air come Wednesday morning, and likely to repeat said process here as we move on through this first few days and first week to 10 days of the month of March. For the day today, up to 68 with increasing clouds late and a gusty southeast to south wind settling on in. Breezy mild tonight in the 50s, a stray shower early, more so after midnight. Rather windy and seasonably warm for the day tomorrow, up to 72, partly sunny in between some later morning and more so afternoon showers and thunderstorms that may require a weather watch tomorrow afternoon and evening. There'll be a southwest wind gusting to 40 miles per hour, shifting northwest tomorrow night. Showers and thunderstorms early on, low down to 29. Not much past freezing for the day on Wednesday. A little rain and snow in the morning. 41 on Thursday, 52 Friday, heading into the 60s and low 70s over the weekend, early next week too. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Beetlejuice, Greg Soldier.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Freshpet shares are rallying after the pet food company reported a better-than-expected quarter. Sales improved and it made a higher-than-expected profit. It lost money a year ago. Shares are up nearly 9%. Domino's Pizza shares are up more than 1% after its quarter topped forecasts. Alcoa is getting bigger. It is buying Australia's alumina. Aluminum is used in large quantities to manufacture electric vehicles. Effective today, Amazon is now one of the 30 stocks in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It replaces Walgreens Boots Alliance, which had the lowest price on the index. And also Uber Technologies has replaced JetBlue Airways on the Dow Jones Transportation Average. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week. Every week, we check in with Jimmy Fallon, bring in authors for the book club, and even treat some of your favorite Fox personalities to a very special happy hour. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Kennedy Saves the World. America's listening to Fox News.
This is State Representative Adam Niemer coming to you with an important message. Far-left special interest groups are targeting me because I am standing up for you. I was removed from the ballot over a clerical error, just like what they're trying to do to President Trump, and like him, I'll never surrender. I am pro-life, pro-family, and pro-Second Amendment. I am proud to be one of 7 to vote against allowing illegals to become police officers. I am in the fight of my life, and I need your help. Please write me in, Adam Niemer, for State Representative in the 102nd District on your primary ballot. Paid for by Committee to elect Adam Niemer.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
As Tapman's Towing celebrates 50 years of serving Central Illinois, we're always seeking good people to serve our great customers. Our team of expert tow professionals would like to interview others with CDLs, previous tow experience, or a strong interest in serving others. If you enjoy serving people, love working in the outdoors, and looking for a career, not just a job, we should talk soon. Do you have a strong desire but lack the experience? We should still talk. Visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Think you have to settle for mediocre car insurance to save money? Think again. It's possible to get superior coverage and still save money with Erie Insurance. Customers who switched to Erie saved up to $951. It pays to compare. Switch and save with Erie.
Your Erie agent in Champaign is Thomas & Ellers Insurance.
Annual savings based on new customers surveyed in March 2022 who reported savings when switching auto insurance. Individual premiums and savings will vary.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Basketball star Coleman Hawkins on the general manager of Pacifica on Green, Lisa Lauer.
She's great. We got connected, and ever since then, I've been super grateful for her. She's a great person, and she really looks out for me. You know, anything I need, she tries to get it done for me, and it's super great to have someone who I feel like I can trust, and someone who, you know, I want to do something for in the future to really help her out, because she's helped me out a lot.
Visit them at PacificaOnGreen.com. Yeah, when I went to meet with Coleman Hawkins to record those, I just had a sense I could post them up.
And he felt a little different about that once you started talking to him.
He would I would post him up, and he would block that in my face.
Exactly.
No, he would
spike it like a volleyball.
He's in the few minutes I was with him, he's got some competitive juice, so to speak. Brad Underwood around 8:30 this morning. Don't miss our live interview with Brad coming up. All right, ESPN 93.5. It is Monday. This is it. Friday's March. Unbelievable.
I know it.
We got the women lost at Iowa.
Yes.
It was close for a while, and then they kind of broke away, and then I think it was a 15-point loss.
All 5 starters had double digits for the Illini. 101-85 was the final.
Yep. Iowa's pretty good.
Next up will be at Michigan State, I believe, on Thursday.
I think Caitlin Clark only had a triple-double. That's all.
Okay.
I think she had, 10, 12 assists, 12, 15 rebounds. What? She's a guard.
Mm-hmm.
About a 6-foot guard. And then had 24 or something. So, yeah, hard to beat Iowa at Iowa. I wish they were coming here, dang it.
Yeah.
Because we'd fill the State Farm for Caitlin Clark, I do believe.
It's true.
And the impact that that kind of a basketball player, we've not seen this. We've never seen anybody like Caitlin Clark in the women's game. This is, just maybe a game changer for the WNBA, maybe. Because there was a Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and then Michael Jordan kind of closed the deal. Because people I watched the NBA in the 1970s. It was like, what game's on? They had a game of the week. Philadelphia against Boston in the Garden. And it was like, okay. So we knew the Boston Celtics. We knew, the John Havliceks. And the Lakers had Wilt Chamberlain.
That's right.
There was Bill Russell, who was amazing. Those are the teams, Boston and the Lakers. And then the whole thing opened up. The money changed completely, just like when Mike Ditka played football and now. And I mean, just the evolution of sport.
Yeah.
The new guys today that are making $55 million to play the NBA a year, $55 million, $60 million, $80 million a year. They just please appreciate the incredibly difficult path it was to get to where this is. I doubt if they'll ever understand. But it's just remarkable. I mean, back in those days, everybody played all the sports. It was just like we changed seasons, we changed sports. Now they're specialized by age 3.
Right.
Okay, we're going to focus on one.
Well, and I feel like some of the women NBA players have had some pushback against Caitlin Clark and her success.
I think they just, whatever it is, I don't know what it is except jealousy.
What is it?
Well, it's just,
I mean, why wouldn't you support a fellow female athlete?
Because she's getting more attention and more money than they ever got or ever will get. And so it brings the human thing in.
Okay.
What they ought to do is say, thanks for elevating. We're all going to make more money.
Absolutely.
Tiger Woods is going to make me more money. The PGA and Jack Nicklaus used to get a couple of $100,000. Now, some guy won in Mexico. He won in Mexico and got $1.5 million.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's... Anyway, it's quite the elevation. So anyway, Caitlin Clark has changed the women's basketball game forever, perhaps. But I think she'll do fine if she ever goes to the WNBA. She needs to stay at Iowa. She'll make more money.
Right.
So that's pretty crazy.
The Illini women's track and field won their Big Ten indoor championship, first time since 2013. So way to go. They had over 104 points or something for this title that they claimed. Congratulations to them.
Okay, Illinois again meets Iowa, Minnesota, 8 o'clock Wednesday night, then at Wisconsin. Then a week from tomorrow night is Purdue here, 6 o'clock, nationally televised. And I think we can beat them here, but we got to beat 2 more teams before we get to Purdue.
That's right.
Then we finish at Iowa, and I don't need to tell you how hard that's going to be.
That's right.
Iowa on the last game of the regular season, Saturday night, I think, at Iowa City. That's going to be challenging.
Hey, Cody Bellinger locks in with the Cubs.
How about that? Cody Bellinger's a Cub.
Yes.
All the buzz was about other teams, and then all of a sudden he pops up. But, it's great. But the deal is he can quit any year he wants.
I know.
So he can say, I had a great year, I'm leaving.
Okay.
So, but if he has a bad year, you're stuck with him. Oh, well, that doesn't seem fair. Whatever, he's a Cub, and the Cubs needed him. So
you'll hear it over on US 105.9.
And we had the Cardinals on Saturday. We got it all fixed.
That's right.
Everything was good.
Awesome.
Sounded good. The sounds of summer are coming, friends.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting in Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Supreme Court hears arguments today about social media restrictions.
A law signed by Governor Abbott of Texas banned social media platforms from censoring someone based on a viewpoint or location. A law signed by Governor DeSantis of Florida banned social media companies from removing journalistic content or censoring a political candidate. Industry groups sued, calling it extraordinary government intervention that would be unthinkable for traditional media.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Republican National Committee Chair Ronna McDaniel's resigning March 8th so Donald Trump can pick a party leader. He says billionaire donors suspending support for Nikki Haley after South Carolina got played for suckers.
Despite the loss in her home state to former President Trump Saturday, Haley says she's not throwing the towel in. She traveled to Michigan, which is holding its primary on Tuesday. Haley vowing to stay in the race at least through Super Tuesday on March 5th.
Fox's Sue Guzman. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, an eye surgeon in Mattoon being charged with sexual abuse. Dr. Ronald Miller being charged with one count of criminal sexual abuse. A felony could see Miller in prison up to 3 years. A pretrial date's been set March 4th at the Coles County Courthouse. Miller accused of touching a female transportation aide in his office. Last week, cell phone outages on AT&T's network affecting millions of customers nationwide, shutting down Springfield's complimentary Wi-Fi service. Outages also led to intermittent interruptions in Springfield's non-emergency phone lines. The outages did not affect emergency services. AT&T's cell phone service fully restored after being out most of the day. Midwest gas prices rose for the second consecutive week, reaching an average of $3.12 a gallon. The price up from $3.04 a gallon last week. Average fuel price in the region increasing about 23 cents over the past month. Shop around for the best prices. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. ESPN 93.5. We check our weather this morning, brought to you by Carl.
You deserve the best in heart care. Carl Heart and Vascular Institute offers specialized care to keep your heart healthy and happy. Visit carl.org for details.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and Van Halen Saturday. Boy, a real roller coaster ride of weather and temperatures ahead for this week. And by all indications, more to come for next week. Looks like we'll wind our way with February out like a lion and March in like a lion. In any event, enjoy the warmth for the next couple. 68 today, increasing clouds late and a gusty southeast to south wind. Maybe a stray shower early, more so after midnight. Low down to 54. Tomorrow, rather windy and seasonably warm. Partly sunny, shower, thunderstorm response for the afternoon into the early evening, and maybe some strong storms too. The high to 72 and a gusty southwest wind. Those winds will shift around into the northwest tomorrow night, dropping temperatures down to 29. A little wet snow in the air with a couple of showers for Wednesday morning. Windy, much colder, high near 32, up to 41 Thursday. Friday high 52. 60 on Saturday, heading towards the upper 60s and low 70s for Sunday and into the early portion of next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting at Rochas, Greg Solgay.
All right, ESPN 93.5. It is Monday morning. I am Stevie Jay. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
And in our studios, the very talented Dr. Susan Mantell. Been in the Army for a few years and has 14 degrees now. I've lost track. I mean, you're as well-informed and educated human I might know. I mean, how many degrees can I ask?
I don't know.
Do you know?
5 or 6.
Okay.
Well, I'd have done
and
that.
And so many tours and so much stuff when it comes to people's health. I mean, thank you.
Weren't you in the Middle East for a year recently?
Yes.
And serving your country and serving as a doctor. She's a doctor. She's from Philo, Illinois.
Right.
She is certainly just unbelievably successful. And so the Army for how long? And are you leaving the Army?
I am leaving the Army on Veterans Day. After 40 years.
Okay.
Are they gonna close it, or what's the procedure?
We have plenty of people to follow.
How many people serve 40?
Actually, I was with a veterinarian this weekend that has been in 45 years.
Okay.
So
Unbelievable.
there are a few of us.
So what's that life look like without you going in and out of town a lot?
I can switch to doing something else on the weekend that I don't have to go up to Madison.
Well, it's great having you. We have the Lincoln Day dinner that's coming up Sunday evening. Tell me about that. Tell me about your participation in the Champaign County Republican Party.
Yeah, so I am the election operations chair. I'm also the president of the Republican Women of Champaign County. And so my role is to really help us recruit as many election judges, precinct committeemen, and as many poll watchers as we can. So I've also taken on the role of running the Lincoln Day dinner this year again. And we have a fabulous speaker. Her name is Grace Ketchetarian. And she is going to talk about hope, which is the subject of her new book, It's Okay. And I did start reading her book. It's amazing. She has a lot of great stories. It's one of those books you can pick up and just read it for a few minutes and read a couple, bits of it and get just a nice little shot of hope for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she'll be very appreciative that you A, bought it, and B, are reading it and love it, and that's awesome. And I can't wait. Janet and I will be there, so people listening, come sit with me. Come on, man. Come sit at the table by myself. Come on.
And actually, we need arrangements made pretty soon here.
Yeah, the dinner's Sunday, but we want people to come buy tickets. It's a fundraiser, so it's $80 each, but you get your food, you get your speaker, you get the whole night.
Yes. And we will have as many elected officials there as possible. They will be speaking after Grace. So you can stick around and hear, Chapin Rose. Hopefully Mary and Chris Miller will be there. We've got the newest state House member, Brandon Schweitzer, who is running for election this year but was appointed into the slot. Adam Niemer will be there. So we have a number of individuals. We also have candidates that are running for the different districts like 13th. So we've got Josh Lloyd, who's a West Point grad, and then Thomas Clatterbuck, who is a U of I law student. So they'll be there to talk to constituents as well. So pretty excited. We have our coroner candidate, Steve Thuney, who will be there. So it's going to be just a moment to sit with like-minded people, get some hopeful inspiration, and talk about what we need to do to turn the country around.
Well, country for sure, but certainly county used to be nice, bright red, and it's all blue. And it's I don't think there's a Republican holding one of the major offices right now that I know.
Well, we
of.
still have Steve Thuney, who's sitting in the coroner slot. He was appointed. Okay. We have a number of board members as well, so we still have 6 county board members.
Out of 22, I mean.
Yes. So we, what people need to understand is the power the county board has.
A lot.
And they have a lot of power. Yeah. And so if you don't want your taxes raised, if you don't want the state to allow a windmill to be put right next to your house, things like that, you needed to pay attention because
Philo held serve on that one, right? On the windmill, because I think it was like a state thing where they could come put it there. Wait a minute, I don't want it there.
Yes.
How can the state do that in a county?
Well, they just make laws that...
I didn't know that was... I thought everything was local or something. It kind of...
It's supposed to be, but the state has decided that they want to just come in and enforce their own laws that don't consider the constituents or what the public wants. And so that's one of the differences, I think, between the Republican Party and the Democrat Party right now, is we've got a bunch of people legislating from the city. They don't know what it's like to have a windmill next to their house.
Well, they would never have one next to their house.
They wouldn't.
They would have it next to my house, but not next to their house.
Exactly.
That's
rules for thee, but not for
exactly.
me. Right?
Susan Mantell, Dr. Mantell in our studio. You're always welcome to text us at 217-359-2255. I feel, and I might be wrong, that there's not a lot of hope in the Republican Party. The feeling is we'll never win again. But you believe you can win in this county, and a Republican can be elected.
I absolutely do. We are working with Souris, Illinois, and we have the data to support that.
There are enough voters to put you in.
There are enough voters to put us in office. We know that we have around 9,000 what we call turnout Republicans. Those are Republicans that don't vote in every election, but when they do vote, they vote Republican. And if we can get everybody to vote. Republicans tend to not want to vote except for on Election Day.
And why is that?
They're worried that their vote's going to get
lost,
something,
yeah,
taken, whatever.
But Democrats do that in droves.
They do. So there are 3 ways to vote in our state. You can vote early, which there are a lot of places to vote early. Now, for the primary, it's primarily at the Brookins Center, but you can vote early. For the general, right here in Philo, right next door, you can go and vote and get your vote in and banked, and then you don't have to worry about someone taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could do vote by mail, which some people do, collect their ballot and turn it in close to Election Day. And then there's always Election Day voting.
Yeah.
But the challenge with Election Day voting is you have students and people registering on the same day because that's allowed in our county.
But how do we prove who we are, and how do I prove that I'm not voting in Naperville? I know it's a federal law and we break it and all these other things, but how would they track that?
Well, there are ways to do that. We have done some initiatives, and we are looking into some of that data as well. So there are ways to see who has voted already in other counties. Part of that is getting the right data and scrubbing it.
Tricky. Okay, it's Dr. Susan Mantell. Again, Lincoln Day dinner is coming up. Anybody want to go?
March 3rd.
It's this Sunday in the evening. We're there at, what time do we get there?
So if you buy a VIP ticket, come in at 4:30 so you can meet with Grace,
Right.
get a book, get it signed, and you'll meet with some of the candidates and some of the...
Grace is going to be at the VIP thing?
Yes.
What time is that, and how much more is it?
4:30.
So-
It's just if you buy a table, it's a few bucks more.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, people want to come sit with Janet and me, just text in and we'll hold a seat because I only got 8 or 10 at my table. I don't have a table, but I want to sit them with
There's
me.
10 at each table.
Okay, so come on, man.
And then
come
doors
join me.
open for check-in at 5:30, and really the program then at 6.
Yes.
Okay.
So Holiday Inn, 101 Trade Center Drive, Neil Kirby, right? Just right.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a nice spot.
Mhm.
And the room is big enough and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a couple hundred people there.
Okay,
so-
jump in on sponsorship today too. By the end of the day, champagne.gop gives you all the details. I know the next day, the active senior Republicans, a week from today, Monday, March 4th, they meet at the Champaign Public Library, start gathering after 9:30, they'll have their meeting. How are you feeling about, these are active senior Republicans. Are we doing okay, Sue?
Oh yeah, they have a
Okay.
great group. The active senior Republicans do a great job. They've been around for quite a while. Just they organize. They'd love for us to have a center for them to go to, so an actual headquarters. So one of the things we've initiated as part of kind of our drive to really build our party and keep it sustaining through the non-election years is a membership program. And if you're interested in joining the membership for $20 a month, we have events each month. We're actually having a day at the Lanes on Wednesday, the 28th. And that's at Arrowhead Lanes.
Nice.
So that's for members only, and we're going to just get families together and do some bowling. And we're planning to do events like that every month so that like-minded individuals can get together and be comfortable talking politics or whatever they want to talk about. But our membership program really is going to sustain us for the future. And we've already got about 40 members that's helping to pay for, the data that we need to help serve the candidates, to help put together events like the Lincoln Day dinner, to help, eventually we'll have flyers we'll need to be printing and walk cards and things like that.
Yeah.
So, it's all to support candidates in the end.
I think of all the summer festivals that I can kind of help coordinate. Tolono Fun Day, for instance, and then Champaign County Freedom Celebration. You guys are going to need a big push in a lot of these parades and things like that too. So
Absolutely.
Good idea to get things going here in the first quarter. I see that the speakers at the library on Monday will be Tom Clatterbuck and Joshua Lloyd. So they're talking about what Nikki Budinsky is planning and how to really stay on fire.
Yes, so they're running for the 13th Congressional District,
Okay.
which stretches all the way down to St. Louis. It's right there in Madison County, I think is the edge of it, or St. Clair. So they are both going to be talking about kind of their role. They're running against each other in the primary. So those folks that live in the 13th district will need to choose one of them. So it would be a great time to actually come and see them and talk to them and try to figure out which person you want to vote for if you haven't voted yet.
By the way, Center for Your Health, I think it's a gift to Philo. I mean, you have a medical facility right here and a workout place, same building. How's that going? It's going great. I have a fantastic staff. My PA, Erica, is the primary provider there. I basically consult and cover call on the weekends, and I'm still doing a lot of addiction medicine. Well, you've done a great job. And Catherine, what doesn't Catherine know? She's smart. Nurse. She's fantastic. She keeps the place together. Her and Lori and Tracy and Erica are just like this great, well-meshed team.
Awesome. And, of course, Pete and your kids, how's everybody doing?
They're doing great. Alex he's a Navy nuclear reactor operator on the USS Alabama, and he should be going out to the Pacific one last time before he comes back to North Charleston to teach young Navy sailors how to run nuclear reactors. Unbelievable. And
I think over a dozen years ago, he used to go out with Gabby, my daughter.
He did. Yep.
So nuclear what?
Nuclear reactor operator. Yeah, so he runs the reactor on the submarine.
Could he train me? Which button again, Alex? That's a little frightening, isn't it?
And then my son David's getting married.
Yes.
So,
wow.
Yeah, so that's exciting. And of course, Sarah and Kirby are down in the St. Louis area with the 3 grandbabies.
Wow.
And Kenny's in school.
Yay.
You know? Yeah.
He was always such a good soccer player.
He is. Yeah, he still is. He just, studying away, and his girlfriend's got an interview for vet school this Thursday. So.
Nice.
The highly successful, talented Dr. Susan Mantell. Again, the Lincoln Day dinner. Keynote speaker is my daughter Grace. This will actually be her first. She has a number of them coming up, but this is her first talk about her book, It's Okay, Finding Peace in Unexpected Places. And she's going to talk about that and talk about never giving up and believing and having that hope.
Good to be inspired on Sunday, March 3rd at the Holiday Inn, 101 Trade Center Drive, right behind, is it Baxter's?
Yes.
In that area.
Right there. And again, how can people get tickets?
So they can get tickets by going to the website, champaign.gop. If you can't do that, you can give me a call. I can, my number's all over the website. Just give me a call. We can kind of book a table or a seat for you, and then you can bring a check.
Looking forward to it. That'll be fun. Sunday, March 3rd. All right, Dr. Susan Mantell, thank you for all you do with the Army and with the Republican Party and the community and your doctor's office. Thank you. Quite the figure here.
Yeah,
she's
kind of an overachiever.
Well, she's a doctor. And then she went and got like 19 masters. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And she can ride a horse. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, that too.
Anyway, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Dr. Susan Mantell on ESPN 93.5. 7:48, some weather coming up. Got to talk about that Illinois-Iowa game again. Stand by.
Hey, where are you headed? To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less. This is a familiar sound in Illinois.
Cold snap grappling with heavy snowfall while bracing themselves for a significant winter storm.
The snow will come, but you need to go to work, to school, to the store, to care for family. When the weather's rough, you need a vehicle that's tough. Sarah of Champaign wants to put you in an Outback, Forester, Crosstrek, or Ascent. There are so many reasons why a Subaru SUV is the best vehicle to drive during winter months. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, vehicle dynamics control, 8.7 inches of ground clearance, and available X mode for when the snow is extra deep. That adds up to performance and safety. Don't wait for the next storm warning. If you have to get where you're going, no matter the weather, see the huge selection and great deals at Sarah Subaru today. Route 45 in Savoy, or online at sarahsubaruchampaign.com.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions here to tell you today, hey, we've got solutions for you. Do you have gurgling toilets, slow drains? Have you been told that you have to jackhammer and mess up your entire house and property just to fix a pipe? Have you been told your sewer lines failed, your drain lines don't work? Call us today, have our expert drain cleaning team come out, run your lines, camera them, locate, and we can offer you a solution today. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Log in every fun. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Real roller coaster ride and action-packed spell of weather here for the next 10 days to 2 weeks, including increasing prospects for some severe weather tomorrow afternoon and evening time. A little snow in the air come Wednesday morning, and likely to repeat said process here as we move on through this first few days and first week to 10 days of the month of March. For the day today, up to 68 with increasing clouds late and a gusty southeast to south wind settling on in. Breezy mild tonight in the 50s. A stray shower early, more so after midnight. Rather windy and seasonably warm for the day tomorrow, up to 72, partly sunny in between some later morning and more so afternoon showers and thunderstorms that may require weather watch tomorrow afternoon and evening. There'll be a southwest wind gusting to 40 miles per hour, shifting northwest tomorrow night. Showers and thunderstorms early on, low down to 29. Not much past freezing for the day on Wednesday. A little rain and snow in the morning. 41 on Thursday, 52 Friday, heading into the 60s and low 70s over the weekend, early next week too. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. Our weather brought to you by Kurt Lynch, however, State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. Kurt's terrific at what he does. Get hold of Kurt Lenschow. Buy some insurance and get some life insurance. I cannot believe buying life insurance gave me the peace of mind that it has. So if I die, which I'm going to at some point, Janet's going to have enough money, and that's just great. So
I saw some of my insurance friends at the daddy-daughter dance Friday night.
It was packed.
Oh, my goodness.
It was flowing out of the cafeteria at the high school, St. Thomas More. They couldn't hold them anymore.
And I really was happy with some of the music choices, and, it just all gelled and came together. I feel so good after DJ gigs like that.
Yeah, they're so happy. There's so much energy. It's a moment with dad and daughter. It's awesome.
It is.
Love them. Okay, so Illinois does beat Iowa 95-85. Brad Underwood will be on the show coming up about 8:30ish, and we'll ask him about that one. We ask him about Minnesota and the games ahead, I suppose, but he's always one game at a time. We're second place in the Big Ten. Looks like Purdue's got an almost insurmountable lead. They're up 2.5 games. There's just 3 to play, so they'd have to lose all 3, and we'd have to win all 3 to theoretically win it outright. But again, probably not likely, but what matters, fair or not, what matters is the tournament, and that's the NCAA tournament,
Absolutely.
not the Big Ten tournament.
That's right.
And want to get a double bye, got to win a game or 2 more, but to ensure that, looking pretty good. The 3rd and 4th place teams right now, I believe, are Northwestern and who else has 6 losses? Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Northwestern. Wisconsin up there is Saturday. I don't care about Wisconsin. I got to beat Minnesota. Wednesday at 8.
That's right.
There's a dead fan alert out there because I'm worried for 8 o'clock at night. We just beat Iowa. Got Wisconsin and Purdue coming up. Don't forget about Minnesota.
I'm always thinking when you say stuff, oh, no way. But then sometimes it does happen.
I think it happens about 99.5% of I just fear the time and the fact that it's
right.
Minnesota's been historically bad. And they're not bad anymore. They're pretty good. I mean, they're going to go to the NIT for sure. And they're just a better team. They got some size. They got some quickness. They got some people that can shoot the 3. Just play.
Well, as we learned with Penn State, you just can't write off anybody.
Well, Penn State was in Huff. It was the loudest venue. Brad Underwood's been coaching for a minute.
They're in Happy Valley.
Brad Underwood's been coaching, 30 years, 40 years? It's the loudest place he's ever been. He said, the next morning, my ears were still ringing.
Wow.
So it was obviously effective. It was unbelievable what happened, and that we should have won the game, but we didn't. But the venue was nice, and he thought they ought to play there every game. It'd be quite the home court if they pull that off. But let's just get Minnesota. That's the only game I got. You got to tell the guys, I know that blah, 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 but they've seen Minnesota play, and they're much better. So just play hard. We'll be fine. You just don't take them lightly. We'll win.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and then at Wisconsin's going to be at Wisconsin. We know what that's like. And home Purdue with Zach Edey. Purdue's a really good team. They would be a good team without Zach Edey. Obviously, he's their guy. I mean, you just build in 20 points, 10 rebounds. That's his baseline. That's where he starts. And then yesterday, he only had 35 points. And I don't know, 15 rebounds. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, he's 7'5". It's a problem. So he's the National Player of the Year, and he probably is coming back. He doesn't have a home in the NBA. What is he going to do in the NBA? He's going to rub and down. He can't shoot the three. He doesn't do that. He did make a three for the first time in his life in a game. He banked it in. Okay, thank you. So anyway, it's Minnesota, and we'll talk to Coach about that and some other things as well.
I feel bad. I missed Tim's text when Susan Mantell was here. I tell you, at this moment, I'm not planning on voting. I haven't missed a vote since I was old enough to vote, but zero confidence.
And that was for...
When Sue Mantell, we were talking about voter apathy.
I see. Again, confidence in what? The system? That it's not going to get counted? I mean, you got to trust it. You have no choice.
Right.
So go vote and then see what happens. But I understand there's all kinds of... I have a problem with the drop boxes. I hopefully don't have those anymore because that was a COVID thing. I don't like...
I mean, we do, though.
I mean, drop boxes don't have in the sense of the COVID where you just pour. I mean, I don't think are there drop boxes in it? Maybe there are.
There are.
Okay, I don't like those. I just don't like those.
Some over by the Champaign Library, I know.
Well, how do you know where, anyway.
I know.
Get into all that.
That's
I agree.
The thing,
I understand
Stevie,
it. No,
that's why Tim's bringing this up.
Well, still, you got to vote. You just got to vote.
Tim.
I mean, you just got to vote.
Right.
I have zero understanding of why we can't have voter ID. I just don't understand that. You can't do squat. You can't go to FedEx without an ID. What the world?
I don't know.
Why can't you make sure? It's just a simple practice. You got to get that to buy beer. You have to have it to get on an airplane.
But the ship has sailed. How do we rein it in again?
You just say, I need to ensure trust for both sides of the aisle. I need to see who you are. That's all. It's common. Why does FedEx need my ID?
I agree, but
that's ridiculous.
We're not reining this in again. It's too late.
Well, in Illinois, it might be.
November.
You know what that's called? That's called Tennessee. That's called Indiana. There are people leaving in droves. Look up how many people, the exodus in Illinois. And we don't want a country where we all have to go to our corner and live in our red state or blue state. We need to assimilate better and not be so vitriolic at each other. And you can't scream at me if I have a red MAGA hat on. You can't do that. You can dislike me, but you can't hurt me for it. It's free speech. Oh, you're a hater. So I have the right to peacefully be a hater. I have the right to stand in the corner and be stupid and ignorant if I'm not hurting anybody.
In a quick search, it's the 10th consecutive year of population decline in Illinois, and it looks like we're 83,839 residents less.
Okay.
One of the highest rates in the
10 years
United
in a row
States.
declining.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they're leaving pretty heavily in California.
And near the bottom on other multiple population measures.
Yeah. All right. We'll be right back.
Happy therapy on your Monday. At least the weather looks terrific today and tomorrow.
No, it does.
There is that.
Excited about that. We got a guy on who's a lawyer down in Texas, and he's written a book that's coming out about leadership. And I'm going to ask him, you know, in the age of social media and the opposition research that really doesn't allow you to like anybody too much, because it just is, because there could be stuff out there about you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be true. I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk to Talmadge, Talmage, Talmadge Boston, who's an attorney and historian on leadership. We'll do that in just a few moments for just a few minutes. Okay, it's Monday, last Monday of February. We're into March next week. We're into March Friday, actually.
Yeah.
This is, and we had a long February, too, Feb 29 on Thursday. All right, back in just a few, ESPN 93.5.
Hi, this is Amanda Jean, the founder and planner of Inspire Your Wedding and Events. After the big yes, are you daydreaming about the big I do? Join us for premier, interactive, immersive, inspirational wedding showcase to bring together vendors and couples from all over Central Illinois for your big day. Come away with ideas and vendors that will make your wedding one of the most inspiring days of your life.
Save the date on Saturday, March 23rd at the historical and unforgettable Orpheum in downtown Champaign.
For complete details, visit inspireyour.com. That's inspireyour.com.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
He died for his cause. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A U.S. Air Force member has succumbed to his bad burn injuries the day after Aaron Bushnell staged a fiery protest. The 25-year-old from Texas live-streamed it online outside Israel's embassy in Washington, claiming they're committing genocide in Gaza. Bushnell doused himself with liquid, then set himself ablaze.
Witnesses say he shouted, "Free Palestine," even after ignition. Washington, D.C.'s fire department says Secret Service agents put the flames out with fire extinguishers.
Fox's Jack Callahan. As the war keeps raging in Gaza,
we do have a combined plan of evacuating civilians out of harm's way.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu tells Fox they want civilians out before battling Hamas militants in that city. Now, Gav Rafah, Netanyahu also dismisses as musical chairs a Palestinian government shakeup, saying the reform needed is de-radicalization.
They have to stop teaching their children to become terrorists. They have to stop paying terrorists based on the amount of Jews they kill.
Change is coming to the Republican Party. Ronna McDaniel will step down as National Committee Chair March 8th.
McDaniel had been facing calls to resign after several disappointing election cycles for Republicans. That includes losing the White House in 2020 and an underwhelming midterm elections in 2022, despite low approval numbers for President Biden.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Former President Trump's been pushing for an RNC shakeup, wanting his daughter-in-law Laura to be the co-chair. And ahead of the next GOP primary tomorrow in Michigan, he posted, "When will Nikki Haley realize she's just a bad candidate?" She'll campaign again today in Michigan and tells Fox,
Donald Trump lost 40% of the vote in the first 3 states. You have to look at that and say, if he's losing 40%, he can't win a general election.
There's also a Democratic contest.
There is a movement backed by Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib for progressives to vote uncommitted in the state's primary tomorrow. It's in protest to President Biden's handling of the Israel-Hamas war.
That's Madeline Rivera. America's listening to Fox News.
The Fed's new FedNow system is all about surveillance and control. Secure your assets today with something Washington cannot manipulate. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I recommend diversifying your retirement into a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. Do this right now. Text SHELTER to the number 989898 and get a free info kit from Birch Gold. There's no obligation or purchase required.
Message and data rates may apply.
Hello, America. It's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you don't have Consumer Cellular yet, now is the perfect time to switch and save. For a limited time, new customers can get wireless service for as low as $15 a month for your first year. Yep, the same exact nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for $15 a month for an entire year. What are you waiting for? Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com and use code RADIO15.
See consumercellular.com/firstyear15 for promotional details.
Ahead of Michigan's primary tomorrow, where Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib is pushing a protest vote against President Biden, he'll go to a different state.
The president heads to New York City for a campaign meeting today. The New York Post also reports he'll be taping an interview with talk show host Seth Meyers. Then he's back to the White House Tuesday, meeting with top congressional leaders. The administration says the president will talk about the urgency of passing the bipartisan national security supplemental to get aid to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. He's also expected to speak about keeping the government open as a deadline looms for a partial shutdown March 1st.
That's Fox's Jill Nato. The funeral will be Friday for Laken Riley. the nursing student killed last week while jogging in Athens, Georgia.
We got a chance to speak to Riley's freshman year roommate, Bianca Tiller. Listen.
Whenever I found out, my heart just sank. I thought that maybe it was a mistake. She just made sure everybody felt loved all the time and appreciated. If anybody ever had a bad day, she was just the sweetest soul and sweetest person you could have ever met.
UGA police say that Riley died from blunt force trauma.
That's Fox's Madison Scarpino. Now, the alleged killer, now jailed, Jose Ibarra, was in the U.S. illegally. There's a manhunt in Louisiana.
Deputies in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, outside New Orleans, say convicted murderer Leon Ruffin is on the run after overpowering a female deputy who took him to the hospital for medical treatment. Sheriff Joseph Lopinto says Ruffin caused some commotion in the back of the marked vehicle.
When she opened up the door, whether it's the rebuckle him or whatever occurred, he pepper sprayed her. Do not know where he got the pepper spray from.
Ruffin then made off in the car. The deputy fired at him 3 times. It's not known if Ruffin was hit. They consider him armed and dangerous. Eben Brown, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures have been up slightly before the opening bell this hour. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign County Sheriff's deputies dispatched to the scene of a crash between a car and a pedestrian Friday in the area of 3200 North and 600 East near Fisher. A 42-year-old man walking across the middle of the road hit by the car. The pedestrian identified as Mike Jordan, who's 42 of Fisher. He died on scene. Illinois lawmakers considering a bill to drop Native American mascot names from K through 12 schools. Researchers have said studies show the mascot names such as Warriors and Indians harm Native American children. State Rep Laura Favor-Diaz says Native American mascots dehumanize an entire group of people, have no place in schools. Midwest gas prices rose for the second consecutive week and reaching an average of $3.12 a gallon. Prices up from $3.04 a gallon last week. Average fuel price in the region has increased about 23 cents over the past month. A year ago, the average price of regular gas 3% higher at $3.22. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. ESPN 93.5. We jump to some weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier. He's our man.
Sir.
He's the man on the maps. He knows how to read all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, my friend,
this has been of a spring-like feel here.
I know it could snow in April, 900 inches, but man, this winter's been pretty darn good.
Across the
really
street, I got some yellow and purple flowers coming up.
Yeah, I know, in your
house.
Those the crocus or croci, right?
Yeah.
A couple of tulips, maybe. That's something you kind of keep an eye out for from an ag standpoint. Maybe a little early, premature arrival on some of the budding, shrubbery, etc., that might begin to play out, and then you've got to deal with. And there is cold air lurking here for probably sometime around the 3rd or 4th week, or just in time, I think, for Easter around here. But in any event, until then, lots of ups and downs, and many a day with the temperatures certainly above to well above, if not record-setting, across the area. That's pretty much the scenario for the next 10 days to 2 weeks out. So if you don't get the warm up today or tomorrow, there's another one scheduled in here for next week. We'll keep an eye on Illinois baseball with maybe some storms and some lightning potential tomorrow afternoon. But apart from that and away from that, some near record, if not record setting warmth anticipated. Out the door this morning, 41 already. Willard and Savoy, 42 at Danville, 43 Bloomington Normal, 33 at the Kankakee, 52 under the Arch at St. Louis. They had record setting highs on the plains all the way up to the Canadian border yesterday afternoon. That warmth is eastbound with a forecast high today here in East Central Illinois of 68 with a normal high at 43. The southeast to south wind on the increase at 15 to 20 along with high mid-level clouds for the day today. Might be a sprinkle around this evening, at least early to mid-evening. Shower chance after midnight tonight down to 54. Tomorrow rather windy and seasonally warm, partly sunny. Maybe a weakening band of showers and thunderstorms late morning. They'll refire tomorrow afternoon. Slight risk for maybe some severe weather tomorrow afternoon, evening time, requiring a weather watch to high to 72. At southwest wind gust above 40 miles per hour. Swing to the northwest tomorrow night. We go from 72 to 29 tomorrow night. Showers and thunderstorms will wind down as the night wears on. Again, maybe some weather watch issues tomorrow evening. Then on Wednesday, a little snow in the air in the morning, partly sunny with a high up to 32. Sunshine and 41 on Thursday, 52 on Friday. For the weekend, a warm up into the 60s. We'll be up around and past 70 with more thunderstorm activity for Monday of next week. For CBJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it very much. ESPN 93.5. It is 8:08. He's an attorney and a historian who's written several books, including the soon-to-be-released book, How the Best Did It. leadership lesson from our top presidents. He is Talmadge Boston. Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Glad to be with you in Champaign.
Great to have you. All right, so is America polarized, or do you find research where maybe we agree on more than we thought?
I think it works both ways. I think in terms of where the two political parties are, that America is very polarized, as evidenced by the way so many votes in the Senate and the House go along strict party lines, and there's no one willing to cross the aisle. On the other hand, the polls show that an increasing percentage, somewhere between 40 and 50% of Americans now see themselves as independents, moderates, because both the parties have moved to the extremes, both the Republicans and the Democrats. And most Americans now, as throughout our history, prefer the middle way. And these days, the critics call us rhinos and things like that, when in fact we're just trying to make government work. So there's two different ways to look at it in terms of the political polarization, as opposed to the way the almost majority of Americans are not on the extremes.
How do we fix that, Talmadge?
I think as long as the primaries are the way they are, we're going to see more and more of this. I was intrigued this morning reading about the results of the South Carolina primary, that more and more voters apparently in the primaries don't care about their candidate's ultimate electability in November. They feel like things will take care of themselves, and they ignore the polls that show that candidates on the extreme are less likely to win in November, and yet they vote for them anyway in the primaries. So until there's some type of reform, which I don't foresee, because after all, who passes laws but politicians, and politicians are thoroughly connected to the status quo in the primary system, I don't see it changing anytime soon. The only hope that I see is that a third party will rise that, in fact, will be influential and will cause the parties to rethink how they do business.
Do you think it's possible, Talmadge Boston on the Tabbins Toying phone line, to ever have a leader that is truly liked? Because of social media, because of the 24/7 news cycle, stuff comes out that may or may not be true, doesn't matter. And we are inundated with negative from opposition research. Can we get to a point where everybody kind of likes somebody?
Well, we know from all the polls and analysis that different candidates score higher on likability than others. No one is ever going to have 100% support of any media, social media or otherwise. So there's always going to be detractors, and that's been true throughout American history. But if a candidate presents himself as being a person of integrity, a person willing to be intellectually honest in recognizing the conflicting points of view that each have some measure of reason behind them, and finds ways to work across the aisle. I do think most people want government to work. I don't think most people want government to be totally dysfunctional the way it largely is now. So I'm an optimist. I still believe that we can find candidates with that kind of appeal, although they may have to emerge as third-party candidates because they won't be coming out of the existing Democratic and Republican parties.
Any prediction for the fall, Talmadge?
Well, in the month of March, the No Labels organization, which is the strongest third-party effort, is going to announce who their candidates will be. I mean, it obviously looks like Donald Trump's going to get the Republican, but Biden's going to get the Democrat. All the polls show that 40 to 50% of Americans don't want either of those candidates. And so I don't think I can predict until I know who the new No Labels candidates will be. Every Republican says if you vote for No Labels, that's a vote for Biden. Every Democrat says if you vote for No Labels, that's a vote for Trump. So that's a wash. But we'll know more in March than we do now.
Okay, because I'm not sure No Labels are on 50 ballots yet, right? Are they going to get on all the state ballots?
They're working every single day to get there, and I have confidence that they will get there. But you're right, as of today, they are not yet on all 50 ballots. I think once they announce a candidate and the candidate is perceived to be worth supporting, that the other states will fall into line quickly.
Talmadge Boston, the book it's coming out soon, How the Best Did It, Leadership Lessons from Our Top Presidents. Is that coming to Amazon? Where do I get that, Talmadge?
Yeah, you can pre-order it on Amazon now. It covers our 8 top presidents: Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, both Roosevelt, Eisenhower, Kennedy, and Reagan, and identifies the most important leadership traits each of those had, and how anybody who is or aspires to be a leader can know more about them and thereby put them to use in his or her own career in business or any field of endeavor.
Talmadge, thanks for joining us. Good luck with this, but appreciate your time this morning.
All right, Stevie, enjoyed being on your show.
Thank you so much, sir. On the Talmadge Towing phone line, his name is Talmadge Boston. Yes, Talmage. Never met a guy named Talmadge. I should ask him where he got his name.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 8:15, sports headlines.
5 Illini women in double digits. The starters did well, but dang it. That Caitlin Clark for Iowa, 101-85. The Iowa Hawkeyes beat our Illini women yesterday up in Iowa. A tough venue. I mean, sold out.
Yeah, no, it's Caitlin
so
Clark.
Many,
yeah. Michael Jordan.
So, next up will be Thursday at Michigan State. So, go Illini. Round 2 in golf, Illinois. Been keeping informed with that at all? Or
I haven't watched the scores. Okay. We're winning. I mean, usually we win.
You know what?
It's just
I don't know.
We got a really good.
For it's round 2 today.
You thought I'd have it? Huh?
I did. It's okay. And our Illini men had fun at the game. 95-85 winners on Saturday afternoon. Boy, I just like the 1:15 start and all of that. But next up will be Minnesota Wednesday at 8 at our house. You are running out of opportunities. These are sold out experiences. So if you got tickets, have fun. The final will be against Purdue, and we've got so many seniors. You got to get there way early for that ceremony. Huh?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of people walking on the court. I mean, we got in the building on Saturday like an hour early. We just enjoy it.
Okay.
There's zero traffic. I won't say zero, but there's very little traffic. Easy to park. And just kind of watch them shooting around, kind of fun.
Sure.
We enjoy it.
And the weather was great this weekend.
So if you want to see the guys come out, you definitely want to try. I mean, it's a 6 o'clock start. So I would, if you're sitting there at 5, you're going to start the stuff at 5:40, 4:45, maybe 5:45. They'll go fairly quick. They get all the pictures, the big old picture frame, all their jerseys, all the stuff they do.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, we're 20-7 on the season right now, and that means 5 consecutive 20-win seasons. Coach Brad Underwood joining Coach Lou Henson, and we're going to be talking to him inside the next 20 minutes or so. So stay with us here on ESPN 93.5. Purdue beat Michigan. We had Maryland over Rutgers. Ohio State at Michigan State with the win, 60-57.
Last second.
Oh,
I mean, I turned it off. It was 46-30. It was 50-38 with I don't know, 10 minutes to go. They're up 12. And from 10 minutes to the end of the game, Michigan State's at 7 points, like 2 baskets and some free throws. I mean, that's just it. And then Ohio State got the ball. Tie game, the guy threw it in from the corner and won. Over. I mean, it was that really good guard that Ohio State has. But anyway, that was Tom Izzo. Boy, now they've gone from like an 8 seed to hope they make it. Michigan State needs to win some more basketball games. They're 17-11. I don't know. Anyway, that was a shock when I saw that Ohio State came all the way back and won that thing. So
Parkland beat Lincoln Land both on the women's and men's side. How did I know STM ended up going on in the regional?
Yeah, they're in the regional. Unity made the regional.
Okay.
Unity won the regional championship. Unity will play in Shelbyville against Teutopolis Wednesday.
Okay.
And then St. Joe Ogden plays Flora. The winners could meet Friday night.
We've got a lot of great local teams in it.
Hey, as you celebrate that special person in your life, give them the love letter that lives on, an estate plan. Have it all lined out. Some people are reticent to talk about all that stuff, but preparing an estate plan ensures your family and financial goals are met after you're gone. We never know when the inevitable will come. For us or our loved ones. So according to the survey from Caring.com, more than half of Americans, 60%, do not have an up-to-date estate plan. Complete a message to my loved ones. Busey Wealth Management, happy to help. They've got a packet that will outline your life, your legacy, your wishes through fill-in-the-blank style questions. If you want advice on estate planning and other financial topics, you can connect with Busey on Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. Busey Wealth Management, there to guide you through the estate planning process. You can call them 800-67-BUSEY to discuss your wishes and to request a message to my loved ones. Investment products and services not FDIC insured. May lose value, no bank guarantee. All right, ESPN 93.5. Check Greg's weather again. Brad Underwood about 10 minutes away. ESPN at 8:19.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign, and Banana Saturday. Boy, a real roller coaster ride of weather and temperatures ahead for this week. And by all indications, more to come for next week. Looks like we'll wind our way with February out like a lion and March in like a lion. In any event, enjoy the warmth for the next couple. 68 today. Increasing clouds late and a gusty southeast to south wind. Maybe a stray shower early, more so after midnight. Low down to 54. Tomorrow, rather windy and seasonably warm. Partly sunny, shower, thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon into the early evening, and maybe some strong storms too. The high to 72 and a gusty southwest wind. Those winds will shift around into the northwest tomorrow night, dropping temperatures down to 29. A little wet snow in the air with a couple of showers for Wednesday morning. Windy, much colder, high near 32. Up to 41 Thursday. Friday high 52. 60 on Saturday, heading towards the upper 60s and low 70s for Sunday and into the early portion of next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting at Rochas, Greg Solye.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Warner Brothers Discovery made a profit on its streaming service last year. It's the first Hollywood conglomerate to make money from streaming, though Netflix is profitable. It ended the year with more than 97 million streaming subscribers, more than forecast. In its studios unit, business declined significantly, primarily because of the impact of the actors and writers' strikes. NVIDIA shares are up another 1% today after its upbeat earnings and forecasts pushed the stock up 16% on Thursday. Walmart says it is greener sooner than expected. As of this week, its suppliers removed 1 billion metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions 6 years ahead of the target date. They used energy efficiency, package redesign, and optimizing truckload space. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
Kudlow on Fox Business is now on the go for podcast fans. Download the Kudlow Show podcast every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com. Kudlow covers the latest headlines and business trends with an emphasis on the financial impact facing households and businesses across the country. Listen to interviews with key business newsmakers. The Kudlow podcast will be available on the go after the show every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Well, South Carolina, the primary was Saturday. They had the big vote, and Nikki Haley lost funding, I think, from the Koch brothers. That means that she's probably got another week. Super Tuesday, week from tomorrow in the primary, so Donald Trump's going to win that. So that means Nikki will probably get out. And since she was in the debates, she signed a pledge saying, I will support whoever wins the nomination. So she's going to have to stand up there and support him.
Okay.
That's what she said she'd do, and that feels very contentious. So I don't know. Anyway, it's 59-39, a 20-point loss in her home state where she was governor.
Right.
And all the major politicians, including the current governor, who was Nikki's lieutenant governor, he supported Donald Trump. So not Nikki's time.
Yeah, not a good look on all that.
Well, she'll just have to understand that's politics. She was the only one standing after it was all said and done, just her and Donald Trump. And there's still a zillion court cases coming up, and he's going to be convicted of something because you're not going to go to New York and find anybody empathetic about Donald Trump. You're not going to go to these Washington, D.C. or Atlanta, Georgia, in Fulton County. I mean, you're just not going to find sympathetic people for Donald Trump. So I think he's going to get a conviction. What that does, I don't know.
Well, I'm looking forward to the running mate announcement.
I tell you what, he said something nice about Ben Carson over the weekend.
Okay.
I know that it's a one and done, and after 2 years, you're essentially a lame duck. But people like Ben Carson.
That's right.
And that's the guy that Talmadge Boston was talking about, somebody with integrity that is respected. How do you diss Ben Carson? What could you possibly do to her? He has lived a life of integrity, born in the projects in Detroit, and his mom made him read, and he became a world-renowned surgeon, and he was the only person in the history of mankind to separate two conjoined twins in the head. He did it.
Wow.
It's a 24-hour surgery or something.
Oh, wow.
It's just a remarkable story. Ben Carson, I loved Ben Carson from day one.
Me too.
But he's 72, so this is a one and out. I guess theoretically he could run.
All these people are older.
Yeah, no doubt. But there's a good one. I think Tim Scott's got some mo. He really likes Tim Scott. He's a pretty young senator from, well, not so young, 50-something, but he looks really
right.
Young. He's a good dude. I think Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, has been mentioned. Even Tulsi Gabbard, the surfer.
Okay.
Democratic congresswoman, ran for Democratic nomination for president in 2020.
Right.
Switched to independence. Said, this is crazy stuff.
She's in Hawaii?
She's from Hawaii.
Okay.
But that's Tulsi Gabbard to be very interesting.
I like her.
Anyway, we'll see what happens. And then Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. At this point, again, I've said there's no way. I know nothing. But I can't believe, the Democrats have just got to be going, we got to get the slick guy over in California. He looks good, sounds good. Don't know if he says everything I like. Not at all, as a matter of fact. But he'd be the picturesque, good looking. California's a mess. I don't know how you can.
I know.
It's such a shame the problems are.
It is.
And this whole Georgia woman goes jogging, gets murdered by an illegal.
Horrible.
Folks, we've got.
With 7 million people getting in, why?
Well, probably more than that. I'm pro-immigration. I just don't think you can send the prison from Venezuela people in our country and Maduro won't take them back.
Perfect example of need to have some filters up.
Well, then there was this guy.
Like everybody, all the other countries.
Law student, whatever state it was, I heard this morning, this law student, the dad was talking, law student gets hit by the car and he's fine except when the guy ran over him then backed up on him. He's dead. He's illegal. So you've got characters in this country that we didn't vet them.
Right.
And when you went to Ellis Island, you were vetted.
Yeah.
If you were sick, they put you back on the boat.
That's right.
Wait a minute, I'm just sick. I'll feel better. You're back on the boat. It's unbelievable. All I'm saying is that both sides have blown this for about 50 years. You just have a system, stick to it instead of ulterior motives of maybe a voting block or change the country because we're so evil. White people are going to be minorities in the next 20 years anyway. So what? I don't care. I don't care what color you are. Just show me your character.
That's
Content of character.
Absolutely. 359-2255. Steve, no ID for voters is a true head scratcher. How many people are we trying to help that does not have an ID? If your goal was to vote and did not have any ID, you would get one. I say it's racist to require an ID. Then they say it's racist to require an ID. It's nonsense.
Okay. I totally agree with that. And to say voter suppression is to say that there's voter suppression in 99% of our lives. Voter suppression at the liquor store, voter suppression at FedEx, voter suppression to fly in an airplane, voter suppression to anything.
To get booze.
It's crazy.
Even I'm getting carded. I'm obviously older.
Good news. I really like that.
Okay, Mitch is saying shout out to the Arcola Purple Riders. Took down the number one team in the state on Friday night in the 1A regional. We were mentioning Unity, SJO, and STM moving on in their regionals. So thank you for the update on Arcola's Purple Riders.
Yep, and let me know about your team. We have St. Joe Ogden, we have Unity, we have the high school St. Thomas More, and we have Arcola. basketball winners in regional. That means they all go to the sectional this week. Anybody else I'm missing? Let us know. 217-359-50, 359
2255.
Whatever the number is. Okay.
All right. Have you ever wondered if you want to pay your bank and have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer these free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. You simply make 12 debit card purchases and you have the electronic statements. They have that one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's super simple. You can reward yourself with the rewards cashback checking and learn more at any Fisher National Bank or go to fishernational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC.
Tapman's Towing team of experienced tow professionals is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Tuscola dominated.
Yeah.
Tuscola's been good for years. Tuscola Warriors also in the sectional. So Tuscola, Arcola, St. Joe Ogden Unity, and the High School St.
Setting up the Cola Wars here
Let's
for
go.
the sectional.
All right, we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, the head basketball coach at the University of Illinois, Brad Underwood, is coming up next. Stand by. 8:30 in Champaign-Urbana.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. A member of the Air Force who set himself on fire outside the Israeli embassy in Washington yelling "Free Palestine" has died. Aaron Bushnell was from San Antonio, Texas. The Palestinian Authority's prime minister resigns. It's under pressure to reform and improve. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says no to the PA governing Gaza and the West Bank as part of a Palestinian state.
Unfortunately, I think that what they want is a one-state solution. They don't want a state next to Israel. They want a state instead of Israel.
He was on Fox and Friends. An ally of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny says he was about to be freed in a prisoner swap when he died in prison.
Maria Pevchik says the 47-year-old was going to be swapped for a Russian hitman being held by the United States, and the freedom of 2 U.S. citizens was also part of the deal.
Fox's Jonathan Savage Pevchik says Russian President Vladimir Putin had Navalny killed to sabotage the deal. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois lawmakers considering a bill to drop Native American mascot names from K through 12 schools. Researchers say studies show the mascot names such as Warriors and Indians harm Native American children. State Rep Laura Favor-Diaz says Native American mascots dehumanize an entire group of people, have no place in schools. Stock prices of the electric vehicle manufacturer Rivian tumbled. It followed its production forecast below analyst expectations. The company's stock price fell to its lowest price since Rivian began selling stock to the public 3 years ago. About 8,000 employees currently work at Rivian's plant in Normal. University of Illinois Systems President Tim Killeen is in line for a 3-year contract extension. University's Board of Trustees will consider the extension when it meets March 28. The extension would take effect July 1st. Killeen has been Illinois' president since 2015. Under Killeen, enrollment has hit record highs for the 10th consecutive year. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Sean Miller.
Log in every one. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity, real roller coaster ride and action-packed spell of weather ahead for the next 10 days to 2 weeks, including increasing prospects for some severe weather tomorrow afternoon and evening time. A little snow in the air come Wednesday morning, and likely to repeat said process here as we move on through this first few days and first week to 10 days of the month of March. For the day today, up to 68 with increasing clouds late and a gusty southeast to south wind settling on in. Breezy mild tonight in the 50s. A stray shower shower early, more so after midnight. Rather windy and seasonably warm for the day tomorrow, up to 72, partly sunny in between some later morning and more so afternoon showers and thunderstorms. It may require a weather watch tomorrow afternoon and the evening. There'll be a southwest wind gusting to 40 miles per hour, shifting northwest tomorrow night. Showers and thunderstorms early on, low down to 29. Not much past freezing for the day on Wednesday. Little rain and snow in the morning. 41 on Thursday, 52 Friday, heading into the 60s and low 70s over the weekend, early next week too. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation. Contact us at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Cue the band. Head coach of the University of Illinois basketball team is Brad Underwood. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good morning. Beautiful sunny day, high blue skies. Feels like March is almost here.
Yeah, your drive at the Champaign Country Club or Urbana Country Club is staying there a long time today. Blue skies, you'd hit that thing 320 yards.
That sounds
Coach.
good.
320 yards. I know you're a big hitter. Come on.
It wouldn't be today since I haven't picked up since August, but yeah, I look forward to those days coming up.
Yep. All right. So I'm at the game against Iowa, and I'm sitting there, and it's 16 minutes and like 10 seconds, and I look at, and all I see is hundreds on the board for they haven't missed a shot. I'm saying, what is that? I've never seen the first time out. They missed the last shot for the 16 and under timeout. I'm going, come on, you can't make all your shots. You just look at that and shake your head because what the heck?
Well, I think everybody has to understand this is a really good league, and it's got really good players, and the Big Ten this year is performing offensively, everybody collectively, as the number one league in efficiency in the history of basketball. And I think you see that there's really good players, and you go back and you watch the film and you sit there and go, man, that's a contested shot. You just tip your hat and you move on and you figure out how to get it back at the other end, and sometimes you've got to outscore people, and but Iowa's Iowa. Fran's one of the best offensive coaches in the country. He recruits to that system, and he's always got players that have the ability to make really hard shots.
I thought, again, second half defensively awesome, but I thought we played hard in the first half and they made the hard shots. Were we that bad? Were they that good? And then I thought we guarded hard to me, what it looked like to me.
No, we did. I mean, Terrence Shannon got a piece of one that Perkins shot from the top of the key and it went in. Oh, and they shot 60% from outside the paint, hard twos, and those are all shots that we want to give up.
Yeah.
And Iowa's a team that is an elite hard shot making team, and they shoot a lot of twos. And and then the second half, just kind of I think fatigue and we stayed with it, and they shot 35% and 16% from three, and
yeah.
And their center's the guy who made the three. So, it's you play the percentages, you play the long game. You don't worry, overly about, a shot or two, but, you've got to keep fighting the good fight.
All right, so when you went with the all five new people in the second half, was it like Dad driving the car saying, you guys better behave or I'm stopping the car? Because you changed it out, and then Nico, what the heck? I mean, guys held serve, they did great, but what is that moment like for you when you say, I'm done, we're stopping the car, that's it?
Yeah, that's pretty much, that's a pretty good analogy. I think everybody has to understand that playing time isn't a given thing, it's earned. And there's certain things that you have to do in the long term to continue to win games, and loose balls and challenging at the rim and not making the same mistake over and over. And I had seen enough. And that group of guys, Luke Goody was the only guy that had played, a lot of minutes and throughout the season and started. But that group works hard every day. And I've got tremendous respect for Nico. I've got tremendous respect for Amani. Both of those guys have had injuries that have set them back as freshmen. But the job they do is second to none every day of practice, and they deserve the right. And most importantly, they've been ready for that moment.
Well, here's Nico.
I mean, I'm happy for the team, first of all, and then second of all, as myself. So
I'm happy for the team, first of all. The kid sounds like he's 24. Is it a European thing? But he sounds really mature to me, Brad.
Well, he's a coach's kid. His dad coaches professionally over there. He's got a brother that's well documented, plays professionally in Italy, was a great player at Texas Tech on their Final Four team. He understands a locker room. He understands practice. He understands team first. I couldn't be any more pleased, and there's not a better example of a guy who has taken the opportunity. He's never complained. He shows up, gets extra lifts every day, and he is the ultimate team guy, and he gets that. And that's a really mature young man right there.
And Justin Harmon responded, because I thought he made a couple of huge rebounding plays. I mean, he did whatever happened, he responded, I thought. He was really good in that second half.
Yeah, and he did. And, it's kind of the, cliche. I left him on the bench a long time for a reason. And I wasn't very happy with him at Penn State. I thought he didn't play very well. He made the same mistake 5 times and gave up layups. Yet he responded. He had 4 rebounds in about a minute and a half spurt that were elite. We just need that consistency from him. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I want our guys to understand is, we'll put your butt on the bench. And now we've got other guys who are capable, and we proved that in the middle of a big game against one of the hottest teams in the country. And, Nico and Amani and all these guys Draven, all these guys can step up to that challenge.
I'm all in on the one game at a time thing, because I know we have Wisconsin and Purdue. Minnesota's a lot better, man. Be careful. I know you're going to tell them. I just hope they hear you. They're a lot better than they were.
Minnesota's one of the top 4 or 5 teams in our league.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt about that. And Ben has done a great job. They're big. They're extremely physical. They've got one of the top freshmen in our league, in Cam Christie, that is having a great year. They took a little point guard out of Howard that is just a jet. He's living in the paint. He's causing problems. But, and they got a McDonald's All-American in Dawson Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He's an old guy now, but this team is playing great, and they've beaten a lot of people.
Yep. Last couple of questions for Brad Underwood on the Tapman Showing phone line. Okay, so I got a fundraiser idea, maybe Coaches versus Cancer. Here, listen to this.
Talk about a Brad Underwood practice. What are the qualities or staples of that particular description?
That's why you haven't been in one. You won't be in one.
So we sell raffle tickets. You get to go to a Brad Underwood practice. You have to be in a soundproof booth, but you could watch. You could watch it. We'd raise $1 zillion to bring a Brad Underwood practice, Coach. That would be just boom.
Well, if you can promise me that we'll get that number you just threw out, I'll let people in.
Okay,
there you go.
And I'll let as many people in who want to pay that number.
Yeah,
if it's not that number, you don't get in.
I gotcha.
April 16th, Fortyville. Can you reveal anything of what's coming our way in about a month or a month and a half away?
No.
Okay.
No. But it's going to be good again, and again it's exciting, and I look forward to that event, and so many people get behind it, and I'm excited after the season's over, I take over the national chair for Lon Kruger for Coaches versus Cancer, and to be a part of that and do something that is beneficial for so many. It makes me feel good, and I think it's time to find a cure for cancer, and just doing our part here in Champaign with the help of so many people is a lot of fun.
What was it? What was the number? Did I say bazillion? Because I got to add the zeros up on bazillion, because that was. And finally, congratulations on joining. What's that?
We'll go. How about that?
What did it say the number again?
We'll go for $1 million.
All right, $1 million. All right, at least we have a number that's tangible. All right, so congratulations on 520 win years in a row with Lou Henson in 100 and some years of basketball. It's you and Lou Henson. Wow. Come on, Brad. That's great. That's big time.
I think it's something that me, from the standpoint of I've always said I don't want a great team. I want a great program. When you really start to look, and I didn't this was brought up, and I'm going to throw this out there. Here's the list of teams: Illinois, Kansas, Creighton, San Diego State, Memphis, Baylor, and Oregon are very close, along with Liberty. Those are the only teams to win 20 games.
Wow! Wow!
And you start looking in the powers. Illinois, Kansas, Creighton, Baylor is going to get there, and Oregon. And when I had that thrown at me, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You're talking about the blue bloods. None of them, other than Kansas there. It's just no SEC school there.
Man.
No ACC school there. It's it's something I'm a good coaches, a lot of good players, and like I said, the press conference, it's great to see Illinois position where it should be, in my opinion.
Well, you've done wonderfully, and you're doing wonderfully. Keep it up. We're appreciative of your time, but we're rooting for you Wednesday night. Let's get Minnesota and go from there. But again, great work this year with a lot of stuff going on in your life. Well done, Brad. We appreciate your time.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Brad Underwood, ESPN 93.5 on the Tammons Towing phone line. 8:45, so it's not bazillion, it's million. So we can get into a practice if we can raise $1 million, and then one of us would get in. So
okay.
And I suggested the soundproof booth. That was just an added. I don't know if that'd be necessary, but maybe. I don't know. It's 14 before 9.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business, as well as Central Illinois employees dedicated to providing you with professional installation and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Illini fans, taste what's special about Jets Pizza by ordering any of their specialty pizzas for $5 off. That's right, save $5 on all specialty pizzas like the barbecue chicken pizza, chicken grilled to perfection, premium mozzarella cheese, bacon, red onion, and BBQ sauce. All piled onto Jets' amazing crust made from dough they make fresh every day. There's also their super special all-meaty chicken bacon ranch and more, all $5 off. Make your day special and order a Jets specialty pizza for $5 off.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
All right, don't forget the boys this afternoon, Lon, Derek, and Kyle Tosk, today on the drive from 3 to 5 with the 3 o'clock hour repeated in the 5 o'clock hour. Great to have Brad Underwood on.
I'm not sure when Luke's going to appear, but Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, First Federal Savings Bank, and Max Twin City Recycling is always part of that weekly interview.
Betcha, and it's neat to see Pacifica on green. I saw that on the scoreboard.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, that's student housing. It's very nice, and a lot of the athletes are there, including...
That's right.
You got Dane Danger.
And Coleman Hawkins.
Yeah, it really played well, Dane did. And, of course, Coleman had a career game.
That's right.
Incredible.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and Saturday. Boy, a real roller coaster ride of weather and temperatures ahead for this week. And by all indications, more to come for next week. Looks like we'll wind our way with February out like a lion and March in like a lion. In any event, enjoy the warmth for the next couple. 68 today. Increasing clouds late and a gusty southeast to south wind. Maybe a stray shower early, more so after midnight. Low down to 54. Tomorrow, rather windy and seasonably warm. Partly sunny. Shower thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon into the early evening, and maybe some strong storms too. The high to 72 and a gusty southwest wind. Those winds will shift around into the northwest tomorrow night, dropping temperatures down to 29. A little wet snow in the air with a couple of showers for Wednesday morning. Windy, much colder, high near 32, up to 41 Thursday. Friday high 52, 60 on Saturday, heading towards the upper 60s and low 70s for Sunday and into the early portion of next week as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting at Rochas, Greg Solgay.
Hey, could you tell me what aisle your car batteries are in?
Sure, I'll go grab one for you. Here's your battery. It might be expired, but oh well. Also, the brand isn't that great, but it should work for at least a year or two, maybe. Anyways, I went ahead and charged you for it, and here's the battery. Okay, have a great day.
What just happened?
Sometimes good things are hard to find, but they're worth the wait. Make the trip out to Interstate All Battery Center at 2504 North Madison Avenue and get all of your battery needs taken care of by the trusted professionals. Give them a call today at 355-4855.
Did you know the Anita Purvis Nature Center is a home for live animals? Stop by the Nature Center. View the turtles, owls, snakes, and salamanders. These were orphaned or injured animals who wouldn't be able to survive in the wild, but they help educate the public at the Nature Center. Sponsor an educational animal for as little as $15 a month. And make sure that animal has good food, housing, and medical care. For details, visit urbanaparks.org.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Are you one of those guys out there tinting windows day in and day out, all different shades of black, and ready to put a little color in your life? Come work for us. At Aftershock, we're looking for a guy with experience in wrapping, whether it be window tinting, vinyl wrapping, anything of that sort, or somebody with just ambition that wants to show up to work and be proud of what they do. You know those wraps with Troy Lands on the back waving at you? That's our work. Call us, 833-DECAL-IT, or email office@aftershockdd.com. We want you.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
8:54, ESPN 93.5. Brad said Minnesota is one of the best 4 or 5 teams in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
He's right. So just don't sleep on them. I know we won't, but the fans need to also know this isn't normal Minnesota. Normal Minnesota is, woohoo, how much are we going to win by?
Yeah.
It's a different team. They've got big guys, they got little guys, they got shooters. And so we need to play hard like we do and just go get them. And then it'll be interesting to see if Brad tries to incorporate some of these other guys, because Nico Moretti and Armani, I mean, they need some time, I would think.
Yep.
We will see, but thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, The Drive, with Lon, Derek, and Kyle from 3 to 5 today. Thank you.
Boy, today and tomorrow the weather looks terrific.
Enjoy. Thank
Enjoy
you.
the day.
Thank you, Diane. That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie Jay. Meet you back on the radio tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Have a great Monday. This is a familiar sound in Illinois.
Cold snap grappling with heavy snowfall while bracing themselves for a significant winter storm.
The snow will come, but you need to go to work, to school, to the store, to care for family. When the weather's rough, you need a vehicle that's tough. Sarah of Champaign wants to put you in an Outback, Forester, Crosstrek, or Ascent. There are so many reasons why a Subaru SUV is the best vehicle to drive during winter months. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, vehicle dynamics control, 8.7 inches of ground clearance, and available X mode for when the snow is extra deep. That adds up to performance and safety. Don't wait for the next storm warning. If you have to get where you're going, no matter the weather, see the huge selection and great deals at Sarah Subaru today. Route 45 in Savoy, or online at sarahsubaruchampaign.com.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
Illini fans, gear up to support your Fighting Illini men's and women's basketball team this year at the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, Game Day Spirit. From buy one, get one free basketball t-shirts to official NIL merchandise, Game Day Spirit has everything you need to support your Fighting